So today, I will walk you through this few topic. I think it's very important we understand Asian work culture, how we work, how differently we are from the other side of the world. And then we can see that how it has an impact on the sourcing. And as you just now we mentioned about our business related with Vietnam and China, I also want to share with you a bit more about the difference of these two countries, how they are, even we are in Asia, but same thing but different. And then we can move to the sourcing strategy. What are the strategy available on the market? What would be good for your business and how other people do? So I will share with you what I know. And do feel free to stop me if you have any question, anything you want to discuss. We are a small group. So before we jump to the next about Asian work culture, I want to share a bit more about how we start RockHill Asia. So we started RockHill Asia from a meeting. I met a businesswoman. She was ranked by Forbes Business Magazine, top 50 businesswomen in Asia. We had the talk at that time over a coffee. She shared with me a challenge in business. So she owned 80% of the modern trade in her country. Very big. They have the mall, they have the supermarket, mini market. They own 80% of the modern trade. And then we have the coffee. She was like, well, I think I need help. I need help to build up the assortment. I need help because my team is not strong enough to bring up the business. I have commitment with the investor, but my team is not moving fast enough. So from there, we have 2 hours discussion. And then the end of the conversation is, let's explore what sourcing option would be the best for her business. That's how we started. And then as it goes, so the story we continue. What next is she brought me into her business, to her company. She opened the book for me to show me what is their landing price, what is the margin she need, what is the sales she need, what is her killing category. Everything she needs, she shared with me. And she also shared with me who are the competitors, what are they doing, how they are doing. And I spent 3 full days at her office and also at all her stores just to go around to see the competition, see how she is. And then we went back. I come back with some proposal back and forward. Then I arranged her team for a sourcing trip in China. So the conclusion of that is from there, that's how the business started and it started to take off. What I learned, 3 things from the beginning of the business, continue to carry until today. Number 1 is transparency. She shared with me everything. She don't need to tell me. She can just tell me, hey, Fiona, get me that cup. I need it 15 cents. Oh, I don't like this party ring. Just change it. But no, she's transparent. She showed me what she wants, where she want to go. She opened me up with a big picture. So I know where she want to get there in the end. So I can show her another route. 1 is transparency. Second is client-centric. It's so important. Because she shared me so much about what her customer looking for. And also, with the transparency, I see what my customer want. So until today, we are very close with our customer. We always put them first. Third one is passion. So from working with her in her company, that 3 days, I enjoyed it so much working with the retailer, learning new things, learning new category, on the things that I would never think about I would be doing back then. So that's how until today, these 3 things always remain in our heart. So let's go back just a bit about it. And now let's talk about Asian culture. So may I ask, who has been to China? 2? Okay. Have you done business with the Chinese directly?
Actually, no.
No? No, maybe not yet.
South Korean, Samsung.
Oh, cool. Okay, South Korean. Vietnam. Japanese time? Second time? Huh?
Fifth.
Fifth time? All right. Have you done business with Vietnamese?
I'm doing business with love, yes.
Apart from him, he's not Vietnamese.
But NFQ Asia is Vietnamese.
Okay.
Oh, I book a lot of their flights, yes.
Right. Okay. So, what is my next question will be, what are the most symbolic characteristics impress you the most? Let's say looking at working in South Korea or Japan, or going to China, or coming to Vietnam. What impress you the most? Can be anything. Doesn't necessary to be with business.
For me, so I'm from the U.S., and for me, it's the speed at which work gets done. It's like
Okay.
7 times faster than in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Actually, the mindset.
The mindset.
The mindset, yeah. And it's the same like she said. The work must be done, and they're incredibly fast in this.
Right.
They're faster in adapting. Get shit done. So yes, but work fast and get it done. This is. But in Germany, it's impossible. You have a lot of regulation,
paperwork,
way too many. Sometimes I think the government not really supports the people to invent stuff and get stuff done. Here, it's.
I want it. Let's get it done.
The improvement you can make here, you can improve a company way faster than
Great.
Germany.
Thanks.
I can tell it from some companies like Samsung. What was impressive that they flew only 70 or 80 models of phones on the market per year, and then it was an evolutionary process to see what kind of models will work and what won't work. And in Germany it's quite different. You have a long development time, and then you go to the market, and
just the
risk
speed
is higher if something doesn't work, and you have put that much effort in it.
Okay.
That was impressive. On the other hand, the people in Europe, of course, were stressed by that speed and also by the intransparency from the headquarters from Seoul, because they often get the information and they should localize it in 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay. Thank you.
It works that well.
So thanks for sharing. Anyone want to share more about the Asian? Any characteristic that impressed you the most?
Actually, staying away from business, only walking in the streets, you can see how busy even the local people or the lowest wages from the scooters, from the groceries, never stop.
Never stop.
If you walk in my country, everybody's having a cigarette in a corner, or walking slowly. These guys never stop.
Ah, great. Okay.
They're fast. They're fast.
They're fast. Okay. Let's go back. Very good. This we will talk about that later. I'm so happy you bring that up. So before that, let's talk about. I want to ask you some questions. Let's go back to when we were a kid. Let's go back to the root. When you grew up, so which side are you when you come home with a B grade? Huh?
Right side.
Right side. Right side too?
For my generation, right side.
Right side. Cassie?
In the U.S.
Left side. Any more left side? Left side. Okay. So yeah, we can see, so Asian, how Asian parents react. So we do half and half here. So let's look at the scaling. This is interesting. Regular kids in real life, A is great, right? You're such a great kid. Wow, amazing effort. Good is, still do a good job, right? Good kid. C, average. Okay, my kid is fine. Your average is fine. I'm average parents. That's cool. D, okay, you pass. You survive 1 year. Keep going. Maybe next year you can be average. F is, wow, kids, we need to have a talk. It's bad. But Asian kids, how we grew up, A, average, right? My kids come home and see me, and they said, Mom, I got an A. I was like, okay. And she was like, why are you so calm? I was like, well, you're average, right? You're average. What do you want me to do? If you get an A plus a star, that is well done. B is below average. C is can have dinner, right? Nobody want to have dinner that night. The mom don't want to eat, you don't want to eat. It's just a serious conversation. D, oh, you better don't come home. Yeah. Well, haven't go to the worst, find a new family. Right, so I keep telling my kids, let's try to stay together, yeah? Keep a happy family together, just don't fall. Let's just, once in a while, we don't have dinner, but it's okay. So that's where we come from as kids. It really has an impact on how we are when we come to business and how we see things. A bit more fact to share. One is yes, is not a yes. I know the Indian will say this and say yes. Asian will look at you say yes, but it's really not a yes. You gotta figure out when it's a real yes, when it's not. And why this actually number 1 and number 7 is together. Sometimes it's about face. People will tell you yes because they don't want you to lose face or they don't want to lose face. It's not rational. We are emotional people. Relationship is long-term, over transactional. You gotta show the big picture. You gotta be bond first. Hierarchy, number 3, hierarchy and flat business structure. Everything has to be like a pyramid. That would have a big impact on sourcing, on when we do business, because who you talk to. Are you talking to the right person? If you're talking to the bottom, your impact to the top, it will take forever, maybe next year. And number 4 is collectivity and individual thinking. Here, we don't want to hear your voice. When I try to tell my mom, B is not average, mom, B is good, I don't get to talk. Because the whole family will be supporting her and said, no, you're not allowed to talk back. This is how we define. So you don't have your voice. It's really about following the flow. Number 5 is also very important, education. We grew up with telling us to memorize the book. How many books have been numbered in my life? The poem. It's no use today, right? But I don't know how to solve problem. Problem solving is, except on the math paper, they ask you problem solving. This car with this speed, is it going to hit the train? That's the only thing we would have. So in real life practice, that have a big impact. And then go to work efficiency. Work efficiency, long hours in Asia. Our long hours, and in the Western, the productivity is quite high. You see people, they work 5 hours, 6 hours. They get a lot of things done. But here, we will talk about that later. The hours of working is very long. So with that, I want to go deep dive into 2 cultures, China and Vietnam. So China is famous for fast pace and efficiency working culture. So if you talk, speed is over anything. Speed is even more important than relationship building. Let's say if we do sourcing, I go and tell my factory, okay, I'm going to have an order. I can secure you 10,000 pieces. I just need you to make sure the storage room a bit bigger so we can pass BSCI. I can secure you this much of business. You need to invest $20,000 on the business. Very quickly, the supplier will calculate and say, okay, if I do this, I'm going to lock in the business this day. Maybe this business can only help me to cover the cost. But when I have this warehouse, I'm going to get more customer and I get bigger market share. That's how the Chinese would think. They don't care about they like me or not. But they need to know me a bit, at least 1 year, 2 years relationship. But they will do it when they know. They will think further. They will move very fast. As soon as they think, okay, this is profitable, this is doable. And second is efficiency. Just now, we all talk about in Asia, you feel things moving fast, right? It's just, you talk about the bridge, it will be done. We talk about the subway. Maybe next time on your trip, come back to Vietnam, you see another subway line finish. Well, that's thanks to our long working hours. Vietnam not that bad. China is terrible, 996. So morning 9 o'clock to evening 9 o'clock, Monday to Saturday. We call it 996. Yeah, especially in tech company. Who know Alibaba? Anyone use Alibaba website? You know, so you know Jack Ma. You know what Jack Ma say about this 996 in a press conference? So people ask him, how you think about people overwork, yeah? People burn out. What do you think about it? They're talking about your company, 996 all the time. He said, wow, you know what? This is a blessing and fortune for the employee to have the opportunity to work 996. This is his word. So you should be happy. You get a job and you are allow you to work 996. So that's China. So speed and efficiency. So efficiency also comes with what you see very fast. It also comes with sacrifice. There's no work-life balance. And then we come to Vietnam. I want to talk about the Vietnam culture. But before that, so you work with Vietnam. Some of you already see Vietnam. And have you worked with any female leader? Have you worked with any female owner in Vietnam? So Vietnam a bit different from China, maybe for the rest of the world. You will meet a lot of female leaders. You will find women have such a strong influence on the society, and they're very special. So as Chinese, we work very hard. But when I look at the Vietnamese lady, wow, they are amazing. So before we deep dive into that, I want to go show you a little video. This is go back to the war. We need to look at the history in order to understand why. Why only in Vietnam? So 30 years of war in Vietnam. French came, gone. American came, gone. During the war, the men go to fight, but the women are still contributing to the war in another way. Look at the smile. I mean, they are tough. And so this is what you see at the war, what they do, but this is just one part you've seen. What else they do at that 30 years of war? This is just a small part from what you see. They are caretaker, the baby, the elderly. They are the financial controller, right? Managing all the household because the men are at war. They are also generating incomes, working at the farm. So they really do everything. It's a one-man show with that 30 years. So look back at the history. When the war finished, the men, so a lot of people died, we know. And then when those come back, they treat it as a hero, the men. And women take good care of them. And women are already, with that many years, they are so used to financially support the family. mentally also, and also they're very good at controlling the household. So today, if you look at Vietnam, the women are very accountable. They are, I would not call them responsible, they're very accountable and they are resilient and they're optimistic. And now let's deep dive a bit more with all the cultural difference we just share about how it will impact us on doing business in sourcing. So sourcing, we have 4 big issues that we often meet. Almost if not daily, it will be weekly, either this or that. We cannot run away. Number 1 is quality control. There's always surprises, even though you have you put on measurement, I send QC, we give them very clear specification. Because people are rushed. People, they want things to happen fast. And also, the worker, they don't have a voice, and also they scare. When they see a problem, they would likely to run away or hide it before trying to tell someone or stop the production. And that is the impact from previously we discussed about hierarchy. Right? They are afraid to go up, and they're also afraid to share. So we will have to put a lot more process, a lot more control, and make sure you know the right person. So when things happen, you know who to talk to. Number 2 is a missing deadline. I'm supposed to ship out, let's say we have quite some order, supposed to ship out before Tet holiday, but we didn't get it, 1 or 2 shipments. Because supplier will say yes, just to avoid conflict. Imagine if you flew in from Germany, you go and see your supplier, and you see them on a trade show, and then you are like, okay, I would like my product to be shipped out middle of May. Can you do it? So if the boss is there, sales is there, production manager is there, the boss will say right away, yes, I can do it, no problem. While the production manager is scratching his head and says, well, my production is full the whole April. My best day actually is June. But you will not know because they want to give you face. If at that trade fair you flew all the way and they tell you, oh, I cannot, I can only give to you in June. For the business, that made them feel, I don't give you face, so I need to say yes. So they will say yes to avoid conflict. We need to deep dive. We need to reconfirmation from different parties. So we need to learn a lot more on what is the real time, and we add buffer. So when we talk with the supplier, also you add some buffer. Always add a week or 2, and keep checking in. If the time is right, are we still on check? If you don't check it in, they will give you a surprise 2 weeks before the shipment and tell you, oh, something happened. I can only give to you next month. It's pretty common. And because with the missing deadline, sometimes there's supply chain delay, especially in Vietnam. This one we'll talk about it later. So it's one key is to build our supply chain. Even China, especially in Vietnam, supply chain is so key to minimum the risk. Number 3, price change after product validation. So you can have a nice conversation, confirm the price. These shoes, $25, no problem. Made the sample, beautiful sample. I really like it. Your price also workable. This is the moment they will come back and tell you, no, Cassie, I lose money after the sample. I like it too, but 25, I'm going to lose my underwear. I have to increase to $30 after you validate it and you have your retail price fixed. Yeah, and sometimes and then you ask them why you do that? How come? And then they'll tell, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I'm so sorry.
That happened to me this week.
Just this week?
Yeah.
Okay, I have that too last Friday. So yeah, so always find a backup. You always have a backup. We work more than one supplier. When you develop an item, we work with 2. If you have 3, go for 3. And then we need to be very strong on contract and email communication. and confirmation. And also the team, ourselves, need to be realistic, need to learn. Our team constant learning. Every new category I'm doing, I have to learn about the product. I have to learn about the pricing, the breakdown, the finishing. So I can tell them, hey, maybe you made a mistake. Like for example, I do have prices that I receive. I was like, the similar product, yeah, is an outdoor chair made in Vietnam. And then I know the acacia wood is made in Vietnam, FSC. And then we have another wood that is a eucalyptus, which is import. So normally an import wood would be more expensive. And then I received the price, I was like, oh, why the acacia more expensive? Then it gave me an alert. Then I asked the supplier, I said, can you double check your pricing, you sure? And they said, yeah, of course, I check. And then I said, you look at the wood, I explained what I say. And they said, yes, I did make a mistake. So this also happened quite often. And last one is productivity gap. What you think people can be done, it may not be so fast. The productivity gap is still there. Just for example, this is all related with how we work, experience, and mindset. For example, I love Vietnamese supplier. I really love working with them. They are sweet, they're honest, they care about people, they have excellent workmanship. But the productivity, when you compare with China, it's just not the same. In China, when I go to the trade fair, I said, I like this item. Can you share me some company brochure and company introduction? I need to verify the compliance. That night, I will receive full information during the trade fair. And then with Vietnam, I probably need to chase and chase and chase. 2 weeks later, I finally received the company brochure. It's just a habit. It's a habit how people work. And how to overcome it, I actually be patient. When things is ready, it's ready. It just needs time. If you work with the Chinese 20 years ago, it's exactly the same. Maybe 10 years ago, 10 years ago, exactly the same as Vietnam. You just let the time do the job. So for sourcing, it's not just buy. It's not like I see this item, good price, we buy. We invest and manage on the relationship with the supplier because each supplier is different. You know which are those suppliers always change price. You know what are the supplier will give you a better lead time if I get them a bottle of wine during Chinese New Year or Tet because I give them face. So you gotta know them and manage the relationship and quality, how we validate the quality. And we need to continue to create system, create culture. Internally, I would say this culture is internally. We are Asian company, but we cannot work in the Asian way because that would not meet our buyers' need. We need to move faster. We need to work in a Western mindset. So we need to build a culture and mitigate the risk. So what would you think? What do you think is important in your business? I think that's something that's good for us to think. In a successful sourcing, let's say one day I want to buy in Asia. What is the important factor for you? And next, I want to talk more about sourcing in Vietnam and China. This is how I have been. I started my trading sourcing career when I was 20 in China back then on the garment business. We're buying all the accessories. We work with the factory to negotiate prices all the way until today. Today, our main business is on home decor. So I want to give you some figure first to know more about China and Vietnam. So this is the trade figure, export numbers. This is the labor cost. So you can see China and Vietnam, they always increase. But China, I think from this year and last year will be flat, probably even going down a bit. Vietnam will continue to increase, but still the difference is quite big, it's half. So Vietnam's labor cost is half of China. Just keep that in mind. And then we have We have the trade agreement. Vietnam is very good to export to EU. If you have business in EU, we have the trade agreement, can export, great. Oh, I'm missing one slide. No, here, sorry. So, and a bit more about supply chain. Just now I was saying sourcing is important for supply chain. Why? Because Vietnam import a lot from China. Still 80% of the raw material is from China. So if we want to ensure on-time delivery, we gotta secure the supply chain. I cannot rely on the supplier all the time. I can depend on them, but it's a risk. So I gotta build my own to secure the delivery day. So this is very important. We still heavily rely on China. And taxation, governing system, it's pretty much the same. China and Vietnam, taxation, tax refunding, same. And then this is interesting about the export number. Look at the number of Vietnam export is 405 billion USD, while in China is 3.6 trillion USD. And only looking at Jiangsu, one province of China, is already bigger than the whole Vietnam. Why I want to bring this up is not to say Vietnam is not good. I want to be realistic. Sometimes I see some article talk about, Vietnam, the next China. Vietnam overtake China. No, I don't think we should look at it this way. They are complementary. They're very different. When you look at the volume of the business, right? Even Vietnam, continue to increase the export, but still far away. So, yeah.
But these figures are not related to the size. China is much bigger. You will never
Exactly. We cannot compete. Because sometimes I just want to bring this up, as some people would say, sometimes even the Chinese would say, oh, we are a bit nervous. Vietnam is exporting a lot more. Or sometimes even some retailer, they would expect Vietnam to replace China. I have some retailer come to me, was like, okay, now Trump put so much more tax in China. What am I going to do? How much I can move to Vietnam? And we have to set the expectation realistic. You are so right. Yeah, we cannot compare. A bit more fact. I share with you. This is our sourcing map. I share with you the sourcing map so you can see what kind of product can be made in Vietnam, and we can find some. Maybe you can find something to conclude it. So Vietnam, from what you see, we do a lot of natural material, right? We have furniture, home decor. This is just because related to my business. We are home decor. So a lot of furniture, a lot of ceramic, we have a bit of candle, we have a textile, right, garment, shoes. All these, they have something in common, labor intensive because of the labor costs. So if you buy something, you think about, okay, these things is labor intensive. Vietnam can be the place good for you to buy from. And also natural material. We have a lot of wood, acacia wood, rattan, seagrass, water hyacinth is very rich in resource. Rubber wood. And here's China. When you look at China sourcing, China is very big. They do everything. From glassware, from mold to, from mold item, handicraft, from metal, from even high-tech item. They just do everything. And if we compare the pricing, even furniture, China is still cheaper than Vietnam if we take away the tax just for the FOB because of the productivity. So just some number for you to get familiar. So our job, is to look at what is the best of these two countries. How can we utilize them? How can we marry them and get the most out of it? So we know, okay, if Chinese are quite strategic, long-term thinker, If we know this is good, I need to be suffer for 2 years, 3 years, but I'm going to benefit in my 5th year or even the 10th year, they will go for it. This is also from the government, how the government act, all the tax and how they build the supply chain with the government support. While Vietnam is a bit more relaxed. Yeah, here if we need to have a good relationship with the supplier. Really, if they don't like you, even I give them good order, they don't like me, they will lie, I don't need your business, Fiona, I'm doing just fine. So I better be a nice person. And then China's, is large scale production, very advanced. I know, I just see a factory open in Cambodia, Chinese factory, huge. It's a furniture export to US. Everything is automated, crazy. It just, there's still some people working, but if you look at, compare with, when I see the factory over there and the factory in Vietnam making the same furniture, they maybe only use, they reduce at least 60% of the labor compared to Vietnam. But if you look at some detailed work that cannot be done by machinery, Vietnam is great. All the hand finishing, the curve, the waving, the detail. And China is strong at electronic, automobile, high-tech manufacturing. Vietnam, very good on the labor cost. We can still enjoy it for the coming maybe 2 years, maybe 2 more years. And then you probably will be same as China. But we rely heavily on the China raw material. So to summarize, this is the difference. Vietnam, a China supplier plan long term, and if you show them your strategy, they will follow. And Vietnam supplier, good relationship. We need to maintain a good relationship, give them face, and hand in hand working together. So let's move, this is the fact. So I share with you how we work, and then let's have a look at what are the sourcing strategy available at the market. So this is typical 3 sourcing strategy we have today. One is direct sourcing. Second one is a third-party sourcing, meaning you let another company to run your sourcing business. Number 3 is a hybrid model, which combine number 1 and 2. So for the direct sourcing, you can remotely manage the business, meaning in Germany, let's say I'm in Germany, I have the team, merchandising team, or you are in US, sitting at the office, I place an order to Asia, and you work remotely. You will have, in terms of costing, it's good, operation cost, but traveling cost is one, another one is timing. Depending on the product, how much you need timing, you need to have a real-time conversation. And this is very suitable for the product that once you know, let's say, just look at the phone case. Let's look at the phone. If the phone, once you fix all these components, they're not going to be changed, and they're always the same, and you know your order cycle. If things you don't need to change, I can always just need to reorder. The development is one-off. Okay, home base is okay because you don't need to check in all the time. And you can also have a team, local team, to manage the business. You can have a rep office, or you can have another company to arrange all the export, and they can be there real fast. Anything they will be acting, and in the headquarters you just get a report. But it's quite time consuming, I would say, hiring the right person and checking, make sure everything runs well, and also the operation costs. It all comes to the costing. If your business volume is big enough. And so third-party sourcing. This is like you completely outsource. Okay, I don't need a sourcing department. I trust someone to run it for me. They act on your behalf. So in that way, you can focus on your core business. Let's say if I'm e-commerce, I run e-commerce. My day-to-day is so important to look at what are the trend of the product. How do I change my pricing? If this price go up, can I mark up more? If your focus is on your operation and your business is not that big, small to medium size, and you want to focus, and this is good, you just let the other party to run it for you, and you give clear expectation and set clear workflow. The last one is a mix. Actually, this mix model, it works quite often. Meaning I have my team, but not a big team. I have my team in Germany that they will place an order with China because I have some key supplier. I always reorder. Let's say the glassware. I always, every year, I order these wine glasses. I don't want to change. So minus, I manage it from Germany. Nothing going to change. The mold is not going to change. But on the other hand, if you said, okay, I have actually a lot more category, especially like, okay, I'm doing wine glasses, but this year I want to do more. I want to expand for the tableware, dinner tableware. And then your team with 2 people, maybe not enough. That's the time you can also add in another company, sourcing company, to help you to work on the new category, to show you the whole business, where are the options, price point, to navigate you. And this works quite well, especially when you have, we call it, in retail world, we call you have a permanent range and also a seasonal range. Permanent range is all these items, the pot and pans, and iron fork. There are certain things I carry out through the year. I never change. I would just reorder. Maybe what I would do is just change the packaging. This, perfect. You can run it from your home country with a few key suppliers. But then you have some item, let's say, always change. Christmas, you cannot have the same Christmas item every year, right? And then you have party wear. There will be change. And this you can outsource to a third party company to run it for you. So back to it, this is ideally for the key relationship. Some supplier, you will wanna work with them directly, and then you use a third-party support for the other supplier for other more category. So back to this, I want to share with you a bit more how our customer work. So today, because we are sourcing company, so we work with our client, number 2 and number 3. We are working with some large retailer on number 2, third-party sourcing. So we represent them, let's say the whole China. Anything they need, they come to us. So we work as their team. They give us their sales report. They tell us what they have seen at the market. And then we also share with them, okay, I go to trade fair, I think this is good, or I see from another customer, they're doing great. Let's say we just launching the pet product for one of our customer, and their profit, they do times 11 from FOB price, times 11. I sell them $3, they sell over $30 retail. So this is something that we also look at. We also help another customer because at that time we look at, I said, well, your stationery is so old-fashioned, and look at the price. If I give you another range, I guarantee you the sales will be double and how much margin they can get. And since then, we have been taking care of all their stationery store. So this, they don't need to think about it. They just tell me, they just show us the figure, and we help them. The number 3 is some global retailer. They use this hybrid model a lot. Maybe you would know from US, Target, that's what they do. Target and Walmart, they have their local team. They also use sales agent, or they use everything. And also, like Europe, what is that called? Co-op, Maison du Monde, all these big retailers, they use number 3 a lot. So to wrap up, it's really depend on your business, what you need, what are the products, what are the outcomes. If things you think is easy, well, I just need to be painful for once. Let's say when we develop some mold product. Once the mold is correct, it cannot be wrong. And every year I'm going to repeat order, and then minus, you just do it. But if there are things that is complicated, is the design change, you need to, the quality can be unsure. Let's say the handicraft furniture, you better make sure you have someone locally to help you, to keep an eye. So, yeah. That's what I want to share. Thank you. So, any questions? I think I'm right on time. Anything you want to discuss or want to share? If no, I see some beautiful fruit outside, and let's have some fruit and have some coffee. Yes. Wow. Oh, I can come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
so much.
Thank you. Good to see you.